Buried beneath the Peruvian desert for 3,500 years, archaeologists just uncovered something that changes everything we thought we knew about ancient South America. This isn't Machu Picchu. This isn't the Incas. This is something far, far older, and it's rewriting the history books. Welcome back to Hidden Past History. We're diving into one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of our time. While Egypt was building its first pyramids, while the Indus Valley civilization was flourishing in India, and while Mesopotamia was creating the world's first cities, there was another civilization thriving in Peru that we're only now beginning to understand. The discovery? A massive 3,500-year-old city called Peñico, and it's about to transform everything you think you know about ancient America. But here's the kicker. This wasn't just any ancient settlement. This was a trading powerhouse that connected three completely different worlds, and the evidence is absolutely staggering. Let's set the scene. Northern Peru, Barranca Province. Archaeologists are digging in what looks like empty desert when suddenly they hit something massive. Not just a building or two, but an entire city with 18 distinct structures. We're talking ceremonial temples, residential complexes, and a central plaza that would rival ancient Rome. But here's what makes this discovery absolutely revolutionary: the dating. This city was thriving between 1800 and 1500 BC. That's 3,500 years ago. To put that in perspective, this was happening at the same time as the Middle Kingdom in Egypt, the Shang dynasty in China, and the height of the Indus Valley civilization. But while those civilizations are household names, Peñico has been sleeping under the sand, waiting to tell its story. And that story? It's about to flip everything we thought we knew about ancient American civilizations on its head. Here's where it gets really interesting. Peñico wasn't just a city, it was the city. Archaeologists are calling it the city of social integration, and once you understand its location, you'll see why this changes everything. Peru's geography is incredibly diverse. You've got the Pacific coast to the west, the towering Andes Mountains running down the center, and the mysterious Amazon basin to the east. Three completely different worlds, each with their own resources, cultures, and ways of life. Peñico sat right at the crossroads of all three. Coastal people brought seashells and fish. Mountain dwellers brought precious metals and stone. Amazon traders brought exotic goods we can only imagine. And Peñico? Peñico was the middleman, the ancient equivalent of a major international hub that controlled trade across an entire continent. The proof is in the artifacts. Researchers found necklaces made from Pacific seashells, ceremonial objects that could only come from the mountains, and clay sculptures depicting animals from multiple regions. This wasn't just trade. This was cultural fusion happening 3,500 years ago. But wait, because there's something even more remarkable about how this all connects. Here's that connection we promised. You may know the city of Caral has long been considered the oldest city in the Americas, dating back 5,000 years. Well, Peñico isn't just near Caral. It's believed to be a direct continuation of that civilization. Think of it like this. If Caral was the prototype, Peñico was the upgraded version. Same basic civilization, but now with 1,500 years of technological and cultural evolution behind it. The Caral people had figured out urban planning, agriculture, and complex society. The Peñico people took all that knowledge and created something even more sophisticated. The architecture proves it. The ceremonial temples follow similar patterns to Caral, but they're larger, more complex, more refined. It's like comparing the first iPhone to the iPhone 15. Same basic concept, but light years ahead in execution. And this brings us to the most fascinating discovery of all, their communication system. Now here's our favorite part of this discovery, and it's all about communication. Among the sculptural reliefs in the central plaza, archaeologists found something fascinating: detailed depictions of the pututu. A pututu is a conch shell trumpet, and these things could be heard for miles. But here's what's incredible. The way it's depicted in Peñico suggests this wasn't just for ceremonies. This was ancient long-distance communication technology. Imagine it. Messages traveling from the coast to the mountains to the jungle, all through a network of conch shell signals. Stock prices, weather reports, news of arriving traders, all transmitted through a communication system that predates the internet by 3,500 years. The fact that they carved it so prominently in their central plaza tells us this wasn't just functional, it was sacred. Communication was power, and Peñico controlled the flow of information across 3 different worlds. But the discoveries don't stop there. The most exciting part? You can actually visit Peñico today. The site opened to tourists with digital reconstructions that let you see exactly how this ancient city looked in its prime. And here's a detail that gives us chills. The good kind. The site officially opened on July 12, 2025, with a traditional Andean festival. The same mountains that witnessed Peñico's rise 3,500 years ago have now witnessed its rediscovery. The circle is complete. The artifacts they've uncovered read like an ancient catalog of life. Clay sculptures of humans and animals, ceremonial objects whose purposes we're still decoding, and those incredible seashell necklaces that prove trade networks spanning hundreds of miles. But here's what really gets us excited. This is just the beginning. Every artifact tells us that Peñico was more sophisticated than we ever imagined, and we're probably only scratching the surface of what's buried there. So what does Peñico teach us? That our ancestors were far more sophisticated than we often give them credit for. While we think of ancient civilizations as isolated, Peñico proves that 3,500 years ago, people were already building complex, interconnected societies that spanned vast distances and diverse cultures. This discovery doesn't just add another dot to the map of ancient Peru. It draws entirely new lines connecting civilizations we never knew were connected. And the best part? We're probably only scratching the surface. Who knows what other lost cities are waiting beneath the sand?